Culture is power, history is knowledge. I am Rudy Decolo, always sharing my thoughts and point of view on the Chicano community, history, and just talking about how I grew up being Chicano. But let's talk about how I didn't grow up really liking Mexican food, didn't appreciate to understand Mexican food. But even as a kid, I was a plain kid. I didn't even like vegetables, and I like my food plain, hamburgers, and everything plain overall. But as being Chicano and having generations growing up, I didn't grow up around my father's side where my grandmother, his mom, and his dad were more Mexicano, more even though they were born in Cali. So their parents were from Mexico, so they were a little bit Mexicano. My dad his mother was deep Mexican, but I didn't grow up around that. But like my mom's side is more Chicano. We grew up eating Chicano food, Mexican food, but with our own Chicano twist. I grew up eating tamales and chorizo and Mexican food, but also being American and being a kid in the 90s, like I liked, hamburgers and hot dogs over Mexican food a lot, or, you know, chicken Americanized food, what they would say. I like fried. I didn't grow up always having sopa. We ate mac and cheese if we were hungry. Also, I was more always wanting McDonald's or even Taco Bell over traditional Mexican food because I wasn't into it. Like I had my sister's family. I grew up with them, and so his mom and being around that different family was more different with the tradition. Some were more Mexican, and had that more Mexican culture where I get to experience some of it. But I didn't really like it. It took me to be older to really appreciate the deep Mexican food and not watered down Taco Bell or even just eating hamburgers and hot dogs or chicken over deep cultural food. Like, so being Chicano, we grew up eating, mac and cheese, not just sopa. I didn't like sopa. So my mom was also not that Mexican. We're not that Mexican to where she just wants to have beans and rice and chorizo all the time. Like, we might eat lasagna or something. We had Thanksgiving. So it's like when I would tell the story of me going to Mexico when I was 13, go check that video in Michoacan. And I was there with my sister's family, my step grandma at the time, to say in Michoacan, Mexico. Go look that video up. But as an example, I was 13 years old and I didn't really still like and appreciate a lot of the deep Mexican food. And they would cook. I was there and they were cooking a couple of times and I wasn't into it. Like it didn't seem appealing. Like I see this and it's like, as a kid, like I don't see it. It's like too bright red. Like I don't understand it. Like, that's how I seen it. So, and it just wasn't my capturing my attention, and so they made it. She had some lady in the neighborhood make a pizza for me and my cousin because he wasn't into it. Also, she made. You could watch that. She made a pizza, put hot dogs and for it, walked it down the little neighborhood, and people seemed like, well, like people were tripping out, like how she made a pizza. They never really seen pizza, paid attention to pizza, you know, and it was like, what? Like, damn it. Like, they were just like, shh, these foods, like, damn it, and shit. But yeah, like, I grew up, I grew up eating Mexican food, but I was picky about it, and I was more, we had our own Chicano twist to it. So, like, it wasn't really till I got really older and really started, start being a kid where I'm just plain and picky with food and try to appreciate food. But like now, like for over 5 years, I don't eat pork. So like anything with pork in it, I don't, yeah, I stay away. So like I put beef or chicken with it. So like, like if someone, I just, hey, I don't want pork with it. So anything that has pork that's supposed to be pork, just I replace it with beef. But some people are like, that's not how it's made, making pozole or something. But I grew up eating tamales, of course, but it was just that I wasn't, more Americanized. How many of us that you could say were so-called, they would say more Americanized, and of course, we're gonna like McDonald's over, Mexican food. Want hamburgers at times more than Mexican food. So for me, like I even like burritos for a while over tacos. Like I never liked soft tacos. Like I liked crunchy tacos, if that, but I liked burritos as a kid more than tacos, and I got tired of burritos and started eating more crunchy tacos. And then I started appreciating the soft tacos. I never liked the soft ones growing up. It took me a while to appreciate the small little flour ones. I always wanted crunchy tacos, and just I'm always wanted maybe a hamburger or something. And not until I got older, I learned to appreciate food more in general because I'm not a foodie anyways. I live to eat. No, I eat to live. That's how my state of mind is. I'm not even a real foodie person where I love to eat here and there. If I'm not hungry, I don't trip off it like that also. But like up here we got a lot of Carolinas and NorCal, a lot of Carolinas, Albertos and California burritos. So like the brothers growing up with them, they ate there a lot and shit. Like growing up there, like I never really ate Carolinas, and even when foods would eat there, like I don't know why, like I never really ate there either until like late 20s, and maybe until like 3 years ago I really started eating there. When I was 31, I really started trying something different. Like I grew up eating at Mexican restaurants. Like when I think about it, like we had Albertos and Carolinas maybe, but like I don't ever remember in Sacramento, like my mom saying it to go there. Like we would go to a Mexican restaurant if we had Mexican food or Taco Bell that was watered down like so like or make our own tacos like so that's one thing too. Like I remember some Simone girl at work hella years ago. She was like talking with another Simone cat kid. I don't even remember person, but she was like, "Yo, Rudy, like, hey, he never had Carolinas or he never ate Mexican food and he never went to Carolinas or Alberto's." And I was like, "I never ate there either." And she's like, "What, for reals?" I'm like, "Yeah, like, I'm like 27. One, like, I told her I'm Chicano also. Like, I grew up, I'm not also deep into eating Mexican food, and I just never ate there for some reason. I don't know why. Like, when I think about it, like I remember just, I don't know. Like I like different foods more than just Mexican food growing up, and I love Mexican food more now that I'm older because I didn't eat it a lot. I'm not even a real food person. Like of course I grew up having enchiladas and all that, but like I said, we had our own twist to it also, but I wasn't just eating Mexican food. Like I remember being in elementary before, and one of my friends who was more Mexicano and he didn't like French fries. He's like, I don't like French fries, and I was like, what? He's like, like I think he even too like he didn't like McDonald's. Like he's like, I like tacos. Like I was like, what? Like he didn't like eating McDonald's, or he said he didn't like French fries. Like what? Like it tripped me out. We're like 8 years old. He's like, nah, because we were talking about McDonald's or something with kids, and he's like, nah, I don't like that. I'm just like, damn. Like other than that, uh, tell me your thoughts and comments if you grew up, liking hamburgers and hot dogs over Mexican food. Being raised more in the United States. We're Chicano, and it doesn't mean we're less Mexican or we're more American, but we understand, you know, what is history, and of course that's a part of colonialism and being conquered, like, and what is different foods anyways to understand. Yeah, you know, it took me a while to appreciate and want to eat Mexican food more. Peace.